Look how tall these lishianthus are. I think that the more these guys develop into the blooms, I think that I like them better. It's not that I don't like them, it's that, my goodness, they take forever. But look at how tall this stem is. Obviously, I do not need it this tall, and I probably have the wrong bucket because this bucket's a little bit, I guess, on the short side, but these are gorgeous. My gosh, look at this so far. Look at that beautiful shade of pink and peach. Oh no, I broke this guy. Oh well. Look at this. This is one stem, one single stem. Look at all the blooms. These are the blocks that I got from Farmer Bailey. I got this as a wholesale. And my goodness, they're gorgeous. I might just have to grow this variety next year. The glorious sun is just starting to come up. It's really early in the morning. I have all of these dahlias here that I am trying to protect from the earwigs. I think that I am finally done with them, at least for this week anyway. I have been doing a lot of homemade traps, just mixing a little bit of oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, whatever type of oil, and soy sauce. And I have been putting small shallow containers around where I have the dahlias. And the first week that I put those traps, I mean, they were full with earwigs. And the second time that I did it, which was about a week later, they were gone. But I have been applying Slago Plus. I have been using these organza bags. These guys, the organza bags are 5x7. No, 6x9. These are the 6x9. And I thought they were going to be big enough, but look, this is a medium size. This is peaches and cream dahlia, and I'm definitely going to need something bigger. Maybe like I don't know, something like a 8x12 or something like that. But I have been protecting the blooms this way from any insects that want to feed on the dahlias. But also I am going to be starting with hand pollination. So I am going to be obviously protecting this from the bees as well. And so far, so good. Everything is just going great with as far as dahlias. This right here, I don't know if you remember, but this right here, 1, 2, and 3, these 3 raised beds were a new addition this spring, and mainly because I wanna get more flowers. So I have the space here. This is like the back alley, and I mean, I don't have a HOA, so you know, this bed right here is full of dahlias. I think that I have 14 dahlias here by pairs. And these dahlias did not get started indoors ahead of time. I placed the tubers here directly in the ground, and as you can tell, some of these are growing really tall, but others are super tiny, and that just depends on the dahlia variety. Definitely for me here in central Indiana, starting my dahlia tubers about 6 weeks ahead of time indoors, it gives them a big push, because if I was relying on having tubers placed directly in the ground, I will have no dahlias by now, compared to the other side where I started those dahlias indoors. So These guys right here are, it's just a bed full of zinnias, and I have two varieties here. I have on the half side of the bed on the outside, I have Aurora, which is a new variety from Johnny's. I like them so far. I think that they're going to be a good variety for me. And half of this side of the bed is full of queen or queenie lime blush. And I really like this variety. This variety I really like. Let me show you. I have always been a fan of the queen lime variety of zinnias, and my goodness, look at this blush variety. I love that the center becomes like a darker purple, and there's just this slightly hint of pink on the inside of the petals. As it grows older, the purple or the pink around the leaves is a little bit more noticeable, and I mean, I like it. I really like this variety. Now, Aurora from Johnny's, I think is one of their new varieties they came up with. I enjoy the colors. Some of the colors, especially the pink, it's a little bit too bold for me, but the rest of the colors I love the shade of yellow, oranges, some lighter pinks. I'm really liking them. Okay, I think as far as zinnias and lishianthus, I think that I'm set, at least for this time. I am going to move these lishianthus into a bigger bucket, into a 5-gallon bucket. This bucket is only, I think it's 4 gallons, but it's definitely on the shorter side. And I like it for things like zinnias that stand up, but these guys are already kind of wanting to be sideways. It's, you know, it's not the right size container. But look at that gorgeous colors. Look at all of those. Just beautiful. I got this new tool belt for keeping track of my gloves, my pruners, my earbuds, and that kind of thing, and it's amazing. I have had it for about a week or two now. I love it. The only thing is that I have to train my mind so that when I'm done with the pruners, if I need to put them on the side, they go back in there. Because what I just did is I put the pruners on top of the trash can, and yeah. Of course, the sun is out. This is probably too bright on the screen. I don't mind the bees and things, but sometimes there are these big ones that look like they're from another planet. This celosia right here, I love the color. I love the, I don't know, the shade of like peach, I guess you could call it. I don't know that I'm going to grow it again next year. This is terracotta. It's not super big. It's like very, very small. Look at that. Like, that's it. And I have tried letting it grow a little bit bigger on the plant, but like this one right here is going to want to go to seed like super soon. So they're not growing super big, and it could be that I haven't fertilized the plants also. So I don't know. I haven't decided on that one just yet. Now, one that just never disappoints is red spike. This is red spike amaranth. It is, I mean, extra tall. This one you can get like 3 feet tall easily. It has been growing for, gosh, for at least a month now. I cannot keep up with it, trying to use, keep it from going to seed. It is just gorgeous. But also this time of year, we know when I have feverfew, when I have very like dainty, very pastel colors, this one is hard to mix with the rest of the bouquet. So I am going to do some of this in a couple, we'll see. But it's just, oh my gosh, I sold this variety at the seedling sale, and I mean, it's sold out. It's amazing. Oof, ammi dara. Let me show you ammi dara really quick. So I am trying to harvest at this stage for the blooms for ammi dara. These are just beautiful, flat top. Hope that makes sense. Flat top. And let me just get out of the center so my camera's not freaking out. And it's a flat top, if that makes sense. Look at that gorgeous thing. Now, what I have found, at least for myself and how the flowers are growing, is that once the flowers start curving as an umbrella shape, as in these guys are going down, then that's when I get a lot of seeds inside. Like 2 or 3 days later, I get a lot of seeds. So I gotta catch them when they are before that stage. That way they don't produce any seeds indoors. These are beautiful. Look at that. But also, once they get past that part of producing seed, then the flowers start closing into these shapes. Look at that. Look at that. And I tried them like this indoors, and they didn't do anything, and they just look freaking gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. They don't even look like the same thing, right? Obviously they don't look like the same thing, but I get 2 stages of harvest for these guys. I am currently at the community garden where I rent a couple of rows. These rows right here, this guy over here and this one over here are mine. They're side by side. And filling up the water is a little bit complicated. I have to drag the hose. There is the community hose, and then I have to turn on the right hose in order to fill up the buckets that I need. But I am not going to show you everything here. I'm planning to do a quick tour later on this week maybe, but I am needing to harvest all of these zinnias. I do have 2 varieties of zinnias here, and the zinnias here were direct sown, meaning I put 3 seeds of zinnias in each hole. They're really close together. One that I have right here is Valeriana, and this one is from Johnny's, And I mean, the blooms are absolutely gorgeous, you guys. I cannot deny that the blooms are amazing, and they're huge. Like, look at that. But also the germination that I got was very poor. I was doing the math and I think that I got about 30-40% germination. Yeah, and I got a random yellow one right there. It's like just wow. But this is the variety that I have here. Not for myself for next time that I try this variety, just, you know, add a bunch more. If I would add it, maybe 4 or 5 seeds in each hole, which would have been a lot of seeds, honestly. They probably would have done a lot better. And this variety over here is a mix that I got from a grower. She grew her own mix of zinnias. I'm gonna have to find the information. The name is All the Beauty Zinnia Mix. I do have to say I am not in love with what I got. I know that it's kind of hit or miss whenever you let, you know, zinnias cross pollinate with each other, but yeah, I'm just not in love with some of the varieties that I got. I mean, there are some just kind of super simple. There are others, the colors, I'm not the, you know, the biggest fan of the colors. There are some that are okay, but yeah, I don't think that I'm going to be growing this variety next year for sure. But before it gets super sunny here, I'm going to harvest these guys, and then I am going to get a bunch of hibiscus, cosmos, and maybe even a couple of sunflowers. Just to give you an idea how ballerina looks like. Look at that. And the size of the blooms are, I mean, they're pretty big. Look at that. Look at the size of my hand. The blooms are just gorgeous, gorgeous. If I have the choice to rent this space again next year, I think that I'm going to make a space, an empty space in between the rows, so that I can just cross over, so I don't have to go like all around it. These right here are all my cosmos. I have 3 types of cosmos. I have cranberries, double click cranberries, double click snow puff. Gosh, they're adorable. And I have Ruvensa. Now, if I'm being honest, Ruvensa, not my favorite. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's not my favorite. Once you have cranberries and snow puff growing next to Ruvensa, I feel like, I don't know, it's not doing it for me. If I have to choose from double click cranberries and snow puff, cranberries will do it 100%. All of the seeds that I have, all of the seeds that I got from these cosmos, I purchased them from Pine Tree Seeds, and amazing germination. The plants are so healthy. I do have one layer of Horonova netting, and I mean, it's doing amazing. They're doing amazing. My cosmos have never in the past looked this good. It has been hard trying to come here and pick the ones that are already way past, so I don't want them to go to seed. And being that I want the plants to keep producing over and over and over, I have to keep up on harvesting the blooms that are not good. I also have to make sure that I throw everything on the other side. This aisle is not my aisle, so I have to make sure not to leave any debris behind. Look at this Look at this stem over here. Super long. I can definitely cut it longer even if I want to. I don't need to. But look at this. This has 2 flowers that are definitely past the point of where I will want to pick them. But there are a few little buds here that are very, very ready. So I will add this to a bouquet because it adds instant wow to the bouquet. But the rest of the flowers will start opening up here in the next few days. So it's just a continuous amount of color. But this right here is where you will want to pick it if you want the flowers here in the next couple of days to be opening. They're beautiful. Now, if you are wondering why I don't really like Verbena, the bloom is beautiful, don't get me wrong. The flower itself is beautiful. It's just compared to these double click varieties, it's not as beautiful, it's not as showy. But also the vase life, super quick. It's definitely quicker than the other two. And I have to be vigilant with the Verbena about when to pick it. I feel like if a bloom is not quite ready in the morning, it may be ready, you know, that evening. And I am not here on a daily basis, even though it's close to my house. So I don't know. It just doesn't work out for me. I know that many other people that do bouquets and sell flowers love it, and that's absolutely fine. It's just not for me. It's starting to get a little too sunny for me to film and to also to harvest these flowers. But this right here is the Mahogany Splendor hibiscus, and my gosh, you guys, it is going way beyond my expectations. The foliage itself is amazing. It does preserve really well. The way that I am conditioning it, it really does really well, and I personally love this in bouquets. I do have a lot of plants here. I think that I have quite a few plants here. I'm gonna have to go back and check exactly how many, but at least 12 here. And I mean, they're growing. I had already been cutting a bunch of these stems from the plant, just to give you an idea. Look at that. Look at these beautiful stems. Now, what I noticed is that they do tend to wilt. Here in an hour, these guys will be like, nah. Kind of like if you try cutting basil or coleus, they will just look like we're done. But in the water that I already have prepared with a little bit of quick dip in it, these guys here in a few hours, they will be like amazing. They will be so hydrated. They will be so healthy looking. I love it. And I personally don't need to, you know, cut them super tall because, well, I just don't need to. This is definitely one that I am going to repeat for next year. Just beautiful. Let me see if I can get it on the shade. Just beautiful. If we keep going past the hibiscus, I have my Verbena bonariensis. I just decided to let these guys and go. I haven't harvested for a while. It's really hard for me to get the right stage for these guys, and I have found that depending when I cut it, I may or may not have a bunch of seeds or petals just all over the place. So honestly, this thing collects pollinators like crazy. I mean, crazy. And I mean, it looks so pretty, so pretty. But the one that I have been enjoying for foliage is Sweet Annie, which is right there. And I feel like Sweet Annie got a little bit away from me in the containers because they were trying to bloom in the 6 cell plaque, and I planted them here thinking, do what you can, like you'll be fine, do what you can, and if if they fail, then that's fine. But I have been collecting a lot. This is Sweet Annie, and the foliage, oh my gosh, it holds amazing. I feel like it holds forever in a vase, and it's just amazing. It's so magical, so whimsical. And again, even though the plants are not that huge as I was expecting them, I mean, these guys are easily 24 inches tall. Beautiful. How do I even get these sunflowers? Yes. This is my first sunflower of the season. Look at that. I am not going to sell this one, of course, because it's way past. I can't remember which seeds I planted here, if they're supposed to be branching or what. Oh, look at this one though. This one is perfect for trying to sell in a bouquet. You can see the color, you can see the petals starting to open. This is perfect. I can't even see if the other ones are ready. Okay, I am done. I'm so sweaty. I need to go back home. I need to put these flowers indoors, and I am going to talk to you about conditioning, about what I put in these containers. So I'll meet you there in a minute. I'm laughing a little because the hibiscus that I just 20 minutes ago harvested, look, it's like it's already starting to wilt, and it happens. That just happens, like I say, within an hour they look like they're dead. But the moment I just let them be and I bring them outside in a cool place, they're going to do amazing. Now, I do have a lot of questions from a couple of you on my Instagram about what I'm using to condition these flowers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say condition, basically, what do I add to the water where the flowers are resting in right now? Are there any chemicals? Is there any food? Is there anything special from home? Bleach, sugar, I don't know. I follow Lisa from the Gardener's Workshop, and she has an amazing podcast. She knows what she's doing with flowers. I actually have gotten a lot of information from her about how to do some things. But I also follow Danielle from, gosh, I am horrible with Instagram handles, but I'm going to put her information here. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. And what I'm doing is that every bucket, it doesn't matter what I am harvesting, but every bucket that I use for keeping my flowers indoors, I add a little bit of Quick Dip, which is a hydrating solution. And I also add one tiny tablet of, I think is ZVVN, which is basically a chlorine tablet. It prevents the water to go bad from bacteria to grow in the water from the cuttings that you do with the flowers. There is so much information out there about what to use, when to use it, how to use it. The way that I'm using Quick Dip here is not the way that that the company actually recommends. And I know a lot of people use Quick Dip, and the way that they do it, the way that the company recommends, is they dip the flowers that are more likely to go to wilt right after you cut them. Hydrangeas, basil, mahogany, splendor, all of those. They're more than likely going to wilt if you just keep them in regular water. But if you use quick dip and you just dip in pure quick dip, if you dip the stems for a couple of seconds and you move into fresh water, then they're good. It helps. However, the way that I have been doing it myself is that I just add a couple of tabs, the tabs from the 1 gallon bottle that I purchased, and that stays there for the whole day. I harvest these guys in the morning, and that water stays there all the way until the next morning when I am making the bouquets and all of that, with the chlorine tablet as well. Like I said, it just works for me, because the last thing that I am going to keep track of, I know myself, I know how disorganized I am. The last thing that I am going to do is I'm not going to be able to remember, wait, is zinnia a dirty flower that it can, that it will produce bacteria in the water? Is lishianthus, is celosia? I cannot keep track of everything. So the easiest thing for me to do is just add those 2 things to my harvest water, and then I'm good to go. Now, don't take this from me. Don't take my word that all of the flowers that you will cut will be splendid the next morning. Cutting the blooms at the right stage is as important as what you put in the water, because no matter what you put in the water, no matter how many nutrients, how much stuff I can put in my water, but if I cut my zinnia when it's not ready, when it's super wiggly, it's just not going to work. So knowing when to harvest the blooms, adding a little bit of things to your water, it definitely helps. I gotta get these guys inside because my hibiscus is suffering, and I even think that my sweet Annie is doing that as well. I have been harvesting sweet Annie for like forever now, and I know that it will look amazing tomorrow. Gosh, look at all this beauty. Look at all this beauty. I love this. Thank you for being here, and if you enjoyed this video, maybe today is the day that you subscribe to this channel. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, and hopefully I will see you in the next time.